Yo guys, what's going on? I'm here today to give you a tutorial on Arma Reforger's Infusion engine. In this tutorial I will include trenches, roads, forests, spline entities and polyline entities, what they do and how they work. Okay, I will go into the project object properties, and I will keep this video under 15 minutes. If I do go over, it won't be longer than 20 minutes. Alright, let's get into it. First of all, let's start it off as you would start it off, with your resource browser in this position. Okay, so first of all, we will go you will locate the area in the map that you want to create a road, wherever. So what you will do is, once you've selected the area that you want to place the road, you will press V on the keyboard. You will see the vector tool will pop up on the right hand, and you will see new polyline, new spline. All we have to worry about is these two things with this tool. That's all I've been worrying about with it. So what you will do is you will click new spline entity. Okay, you will see this purple button or purple circle following you around, following your mouse around. You will click on the area that you want to start your road. You will click on it, and you will drag this button or this dot to the area you want to curve your road. Then you want to hold down Control and then click on the other side where you want to continue your road, right here. Okay, I want to build a road right here. As you can see on the satellite map, there is a road running through this village. So you will just click on the different points. If you do somehow press W and the lines go away, just press V again and it will take you right back to where you were. So let's click on this middle one. When you click on the middle one, you will see this blue line with the two dots at the end. One dot here and one dot here. These dots change the curvature of this line, of this spline. So we'll move it up a little bit as my satellite map indicates. And the closer it gets to the point, the center point, the sharper the curve is. The further it gets, obviously, the smoother it gets. Okay, so you adjust it as you want, as you wish, and as it suits you. Okay, so there we go, that's a road. Then to create your road, we've just created the line which our road is going to be painted on. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to go down to your resource browser. You're going to go down to prefab library, double click, generators, roads. Now before you go in there, bushlands all the way to water. These are made to be snapped on just as the roads are onto your spline entity. I will show you in a second. So we'll go into roads, go into asphalt, and these ones, any of these can be snapped on here. So we'll go roads, asphalt, that's what I will be using for this project. I will drag the one that I want to use onto the shape entity that I've just created on the left side and drop. There you will see it's created. Easy. So here you can see that it does have a little problem with the, we don't have to worry about this. I will figure this out in a second. I'll show you how to do that. Wait. Yeah, I'll just have to slice this in half. But anyway, we've created the road now, and you'll see that if your road is on a little bit of a uphill, you'll see that it lifts up the terrain. So it affects the terrain. If you want this, great stuff. If you don't want this, you can go down to Object Properties, and you'll see that under Terrain, you'll see Adjust Height Map. So it will adjust the height map to make this road as smooth as possible, okay? If you want that, good stuff. If you want to adjust this, let's go back. Let's step back a second. If you don't want this, just unclick it. So now it's painted on. It follows the height map. So it's going to be very bumpy, rather annoying for the players, unless you go into your terrain tool and smooth it out for them. But as I do it like this. I just smooth it out. Or you could just go into Adjust Height Map. Then you can adjust the fall off start width. So this would adjust the width that it affects the height map at, and the road clearance. So this would affect wait, hold up. Wait. Okay. The road fall off width. There we go. I wanted to say it was the width. Okay. So this would affect the fall off. How far you want the fall off, the smoother the fall off is. So this is much more smoother than it was. So if you want to place like houses here on the side, you could go into your terrain tool and press Ctrl T, and you will be in your terrain tool. Go down to the box down here on your right hand side, click on this, sculpt. That's the tool that you want to be on. Then you'll go to flatten, and you will adjust this by holding shift and moving your mouse up to where it's aligned with on the left hand side with the terrain. Okay, so now you'll just click, and there we go. Now it's aligned. Okay, to make it bigger, you just hold down Control and move your mouse up. Now it's perfectly aligned. Then you press W to move things around, E to rotate, R to scale. W to move, E to rotate, R to scale. So we're going to press W. Okay, now we do have a sharp fall off right here. Okay, we don't want that. Players would not enjoy playing on a map that looks jagged and wonky. So we're going to do Control T. We're going to go up here, we're going to press smooth, or you just can press 3 on your keyboard, and you're just going to smooth this out. Smooth it out. Nicely. There we go. Smoothen out perfectly. And now it's not as sharp as it was, and you've still got your road. So let's zoom out. Let's say we want a little tree line, or a little tree line here. This is a little forest, and we want a forest here. So what we're going to do is we're going to press V. We're going to go to polyline. Okay, new polyline. We're going to click that. You're going to see a like a light orange color circle is going to follow you around. Going to click, going to drag to where you want to start it. There we go. And you're just going to hold down Control to add more dots. There we go. So we're just going to go around, follow this around, boom, and follow this like so. all the way to the top. So with these polylines, and when you make what's called forests, you want to make sure that these two, the start and the finish, are lined up. I will show you in a second why. So we go to generators, forests, and you will select any forest that you want on this map, on whatever map you want, what forest you want in your map. So for this certain project, this particular project that I'm busy with, I want to go with pine and spruce. I'm gonna drag this and drop it, just like we did with the roads. Made me think I was gonna lose it there for a second, the program. Alrighty. Control save. Make sure you consistently save. Make it a second, make it like breathing. You've got to do it constantly. If you forget, that's how you lose projects and lose motivation to do projects. So the reason why the start and the end needs to line up is because, well, if it's here, it slices like that, and we don't want that. Well, if you do, then you do, but I don't want that to slice. There we go. So now we've got a forest. Quite nice, big forest, lots of trees, and lots of fighting potential. Okay, now let's say we wanted a trench line all the way from here to over there. Now I'm not going to make the whole trench line, but I will show you how to start off. First of all, we're going to go Control T to go into our terrain tool. Okay, we're going to press 1 on the keyboard, and we're going to hold down Control and move our mouse down. On the right, you'll see that your radius decreases and increases when you hold down Control and move your mouse up and down. Okay, that's the easiest way of doing it. 2 works perfectly fine. Strength is increased with holding down Shift and moving your mouse up and down. We want to make our strength about 7. Make it as low as possible. Now, to dig into our terrain, we're going to hold down Alt so that the circle turns red. And we're just going to make a little bit like so. Now, not too sharp. We're going to press 3, scroll down to around 1, and we're going to just smooth this out. 3 is smooth, 2 is flatten, and 1 is sculpt. Okay, now to get trenches, all we're gonna do is gonna go down to resource browser, type down trench. Okay, press on Arma Reforger, and you'll see a bunch of trenches. Okay, the trenches that we want and that you want to use are these ones, these light blue colored ones. Those are the ones that are have collision, like they have a collision factor in them. You don't want to be using these turquoise ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab these trench. We're going to say trench old. There we go. Didn't change anything. Okay, well, we'll just work with that. Then we're gonna go to down here. Gonna just select this one. Press E for rotate. Control for snapping to certain angles. W for movement. And just move it along. Okay. We're gonna go up, scroll up a little bit, hold down this one, and it's different. We're going to scroll up a little bit more. I'm going to hold this one. And E for rotate. Snapping into a place by holding Control. Alright. It also, Control also works for snapping to the grid squares when moving the moving the trench. There we go. And to duplicate, it's quite easy. You just hold down Alt and then press the button on press the axis which you want to duplicate, and just click, drag, and drop. There we go. There's your trench. Pretty easy. And you can go into press Ctrl T to go into terrain mode and sculpt this to your liking. Obviously this is just a example of how it would be. This isn't what my trenches would look like but it's just a quick example of how you could make your trenches and how easy it is to make trenches. Okay, now we've got these ones. Now next to it, I just want to give an example of using other types of trenches instead of the pre-made ones. So we're gonna dig in the terrain just a little bit more. Sorry guys, already over 15 minutes. Let's do this. We're gonna go into resource browser. I'm gonna click and type in embankments. Embankments. There we go. So the two types of embankments is this one and this one. Big difference is this one has grass, this one doesn't. This one has dead grass. So we're going to use the one with the grass. E to rotate, Control to snap to a grid, and we're just going to hold it like so. Just move it like so. Hold down Alt to duplicate, then E to rotate, Control to snap to grid. Here we go. Now, there we go. There you've got a decent. We're just gonna hold down Shift to select both, hold down Alt, and drag. There we go. So there you've got a nice trench line. So the problem with these ones are they don't curve like these trenches. They're just straight. So what you want to do is just to go into your terrain mode and just smooth it out. So you don't want the enemy to see straight through the trenches. So you're going to hold down Control, increase the size, and just slightly tap 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 until it reaches the top and covers it. There we go. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Here you've got one type of style of trenches, and here you've got the other style of trenches. Okay, just gonna save the project. Now, the difference. Now we're gonna press V. Now, the difference between polyline and spline is polyline is good for everything except roads and rivers. Okay, spline is good for most things except walls and tree lines. That's what I found. So other than that, it's not too much of a difference. It's easier to make tree lines with polylines, and a lot easier, and actually the only way it works is to make roads with splines. So if I go over here and we look at these roads, all these roads were made with splines. These cables, these these cable things were made with polylines. So because that's the easiest way that I found it worked. Bush lines. Bush lines, or bush, when you go into prefab library generators, bush lines also work perfectly with polylines. Okay, so polylines work perfectly with bush lines, forests, pavements, power lines, walls, and lakes as well. Except rivers. Rivers are made with splines. Let's wrap this up. So here you can see that I made the pavements also with polylines. Okay, pretty easy. And if we quickly go here, you can see the different types of trenches that I've implemented. You've got these trenches, okay, and you've got these trenches. So you could combine the two like I did here, or you can just use the one and do it like so. Okay guys, fantastic. That is me over 20 minutes already. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching the video. There will be a lot more coming in the future. I've got quite a few videos lined up for help and tips on certain projects and certain types of things, and importing sat maps and everything. So yeah, have a fantastic one. Remember to like, remember to subscribe. My Discord will be in the description, where you can follow the this project that I'm actually busy with at the moment, where you can follow it and keep up to date with it, and even, well, you can play my map, play on my map in Arma Reforger. Alright guys, thank you very much. See you later.